Welcome to FiceFilm. Today we will explain the movie called Jumanji: The Next Level. Warning, this video contains major spoilers, so watch at your own risk. After what happened in the last movie, Spencer Gilpin, Anthony Fritch Johnson, Martha Capley, and Bethany Walker have all graduated from high school and moved on. Bethany is doing community service all over the world, Martha has become popular at college, and Fritch has been working out a lot. They plan a get-together at Norris's dinner in Brentford, New Hampshire for the holidays. Spencer, on the other hand, has had a hard time while going to college in New York. He has put his long-distance relationship with Martha on hold because he is unhappy with his lowly job at a grocery store. Eddie, his mother's father, is recovering from hip surgery and staying in his room while at home. That night, Spencer and Eddie talk about their problems, and Eddie tells Spencer's son-in-law that college is the best time of one's life and that things will only worsen as one gets older. Spencer has given up hope that his life will improve, so he decides to play Dr. Smolder Bravestone again in the Jumanji game. He gets the broken pieces of the game that he had hidden away, fixes it so it's almost working, and it turns back on. Spencer's three friends are confused the following day when he doesn't show up for their planned get-together, so they go to his house to look for him. There, they run into Eddie and his old friend Milo Walker. Eddie and Milo used to own Norris's, but they fought when Milo decided to retire. When the three of them are looking for Spencer, they hear the scary drums of Jumanji and find the game running in his basement. They all reluctantly decide to go back into the game to save him. When Spencer doesn't show up at Nora Shepherd's restaurant, Fritch, Martha, and Bethany are worried. On the way to Spencer's house, they run into his cranky grandfather Eddie, who is staying there. At the same time, he recovers from hip surgery and an old friend of Spencer's named Milo Walker. While they are there, the group is scared and horrified when they hear drumming and find out that Spencer kept the broken pieces of the Jumanji game in the basement on purpose. They decide that they went back on purpose. Because Bethany and Fritch have some bad memories of playing Jumanji, it is understandable that they don't want to go back. They only change their minds when Martha convinces them to help. But before they can even get to the screen where they choose their character, Jumanji pulls them in, even though it seems to be broken. This time, only Fritch, Martha, Eddie, and Milo go in, leaving Bethany behind on her own. When Martha and Fritch get into the game, they are shocked that things have changed since the last adventure. In Jumanji, in a situation similar to From the Deep, Martha finds that she's back at Ruby Roundhouse. However, Fritch is now Professor Shelley Oberon, and Eddie and Milo are now Smolder Bravestone and Franklin Mouse Finbar. After providing an attack from a hippopotamus that was the same as the last time, Eddie and Milo, who don't know much about the game, let an anaconda take Fritch's first extra life. When they see a plane in the sky, they find out it's being flown by NPC guide Nigel Billingsley, who has just arrived to take them to the next level. He tells them that the game and story have changed and that a warlord named Juergen the Brutal, who killed Braverstone's parents in this game, has stolen a magic necklace called the Falcon Jewel. As long as the jewel stays in the sun, its magic makes the land fertile. When Juergen took the jewel, the land went dry. They have to get it back before he sells it to a crime ring so that the two groups can work together to end the drought and save Jumanji again. Nigel says that not all of them will make it out of the game alive. When Nigel Billingsley shows up and tells the players their new missions, evil conqueror Juergen the Brutal, who killed Braverstone's parent, has stolen the Falcon Jewel, a gem that makes your crop grows well. To win, the four adventurers must find the jewel again and show it to the sun while calling Jumanji's name. Meanwhile, Bethany, stuck outside, wants to do something. Hence, she goes outside to find another Jumanji player, Alex Freak, who can help her get back in. Alex doesn't want to leave his happy life because he was alone and hanging by a thread for 20 years. But he is happy to help Bethany because she wants to save him from dying for good. When Nigel drops the players off in the desert, a group of ostriches attacks them. They barely get away in an abandoned dune buggy. Eddie's stubbornness and Milo's tendency to give lengthy explanations are putting the group in danger. Spencer is now a female cat burglar named Ming Fleetfoot. The team meets her at a place called the Oasis. Fritch and Martha get a desert fruit called the Jumanji berry by following the clues they were given. They also find a pool of glowing green water that lets them switch avatars. Eddie fights with dozens of strangers while Spencer and Milo look for camels for the group to ride. Switchblade, a mercenary and Bravestone's only weakness, is watching the battle. Switchblade kills every player with a single shot from a rocket launcher, which costs each of them a life. As the team rides the camels to their next destinations, Eddie and Malo argue about Miles' decisions to quit the restaurant business, which upsets Eddie's workaholic. When Eddie stomps on Malo with a rock, the fight is over. The group eventually gets to the next level, a set of moving rope bridges across a canyon. Not long after that, they run into a group of angry mandrills that chase them and try to push them off bridges. Even though Fritch is able to lead the team across using geometry skill of his avatar, the dangerous primates end up surrounding them on the other side. Alex Freak, who Bethany had hired after being left behind, saves them at the last minute. Alex plays as Jefferson Seaplane McDonough again, and says that Bethany's new avatar is a black horse named Cyclone. He also says that he and Bethany brought everyone else's winter clothes. Eddie and Malo make up, and Malo tells Eddie that Malo is dying and wants to make things right with Eddie before he dies. As the group prepares to face Jurgen at his mountain fortress, Fritch tells everyone that the mismatched avatars have been a big problem. When they find a river with mysterious glowing water flowing through it, Spencer, Fritch, and Bethany can return to their original forms. Eddie and Malo can become Ming and Cyclone. Soon after, Jurgens' men capture the two older men, so it's up to the original team of 5 to save them. Alex loses 2 lives trying to get into the mountain fortress and save Milo. At the same time, Fritch and Bethany pretend to be the famous brother and sister that Jurgen expects. While Eddie is being found and set free, Spencer and Martha get back together. Martha fights Jurgens' thugs inside the fortress to the sound of music, while Spencer chases after Jurgen as he runs away. When Spencer meets the Conqueror on his Zeppelin, he figures out that Jurgens' weakness is the Jumanji berry. He then uses it to take down and defeat the bad guy. Cyclone turns out to be a flying horse, which makes Milo and Eddie to meet Spencer in the air. Spencer gives the Falcon Jewel to his grandfather, who, as Nigel told him, points it at the sun. While everyone on the team has done their job, they shout Jumanji, which ends the game. Milo says he wants to stay in the game, while Nigel comes to send the player home. Eddie tells him goodbye, knowing why he did what he did, and thanks him for their friendship. Spencer thanks his friend for coming to get him, and Fritch tells him not to do it again. When everyone returns to Spencer's basement safety, Eddie changes his mind about getting older and tells Spencer that it is a gift. Spencer and Eddie finally go to Norris's, where they find out that the current owner is Nora Shepherd, the aunt of Judy and Peter, and an old friend of Eddie's. Eddie starts to flirt with her by using what he learned as Bravestone. As he does so, he looks very hot. After that, Spencer starts teaching his grandfather about video games and meet up with his friends at Eddie's old dinner. Eddie uses Bravestone's smoldering intensity to convince new owner Nora Shepherd to hire him as a manager. In a scene after the credit, Spencer's mom calls a repairer to fix the heater in the basement. While he's there, he finds the game and its console. At Norris's, Spencer and his friends are shocked when a group of ostriches run through the dinner.